It drives me crazy when I see people that don't even try to make a video. You've got something in your hand that is better than any camera, people had 10 years ago. And it's free too and easy these days. If you're not using video, I don't care if you're only getting 100 views per video.
Welcome to the Real Pulse of Real Estate, where we discuss the true ins and outs of the housing market. Welcome back to Real Pulse of Real Estate. We are back with EXP agent and expert social media guide who's about to dive into us, Cameron Berens.
Well, hello.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great after that intro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I tried to, drum it up as much as possible because realistically, I am very excited for this episode. Mm-hmm. One, we're both very big into marketing. We're very big into numbers. We bore our wives to tears when it comes to talking like real estate numbers, and we'll get into that in a later episode.
Yeah.
However, social media, branding, extremely important in my opinion, in your opinion. Mm-hmm. We might have someone who said, no, direct mail all the way. However,
they're wrong.
For our opinions, social media, big thing. Branding, big thing. Mm-hmm. So let's dive into what's some of the most important things about branding in your opinion.
I'll throw this disclaimer out there. Make sure you're branding within whatever your state regulations are.
Yes, that is a fair point.
And push it to the limit.
Yeah.
So, but no, the reason I say that is because your brand is the most important thing. I don't care if you're a real estate agent, if you're a roofer, a landscaping company, building your brand. I mean, that's the difference why I have an energy drink sitting in front of me. And just by looking at it, you know what this is. It's a Rain energy with like that Spartan helmet looking thing.
Yeah.
If this was just a regular can, it would be whatever. Oh, you're drinking an energy drink. Yeah. And you got an line over there. Yeah. But by looking at it, I know what that is. I can recognize it. I'm willing to pay for it. I drink this. I know it's a certain quality, experience, whatever from it. And that's the same. Even though you may just be your own solo real estate agent, think of yourself that way. Mm-hmm. You're a brand, you're a company. And I know a lot of people listening to this may not even be thinking that way. I guarantee majority of them aren't, because I didn't at first either.
Yeah.
But you really are. And starting building that early, your brand with your company logo, however you have to have it, your brokerage logo, I should say. And your brand doesn't have to be right out of the gate. Well, because I feel like agents get tripped up over this. Well, I don't have a fancy logo and slogan and this. Yeah. You want to have something to identify as. That's cool. Where people see that little image and they know, oh, that's Adam Cron. But just start doing something, because your face, is also a brand.
Yeah.
So I think it's extremely important. And a lot of agents underestimate that because they don't think of themselves as a company or a business.
Well, and I think to go back to your point of you don't have to have the fanciest logo and everything. Being former director of marketing at Keller Williams and Florence, part of being a business owner, the fun stuff is designing a business card, designing the logo, designing that sort of stuff. There were so many agents who got hung up for weeks on end as to what their business card looked like. Mm-hmm. I get that branding is important, and the consistency is you also got to do some business at the same time, right? Yeah. So with you talking about people seeing your face, let's go ahead and dive into this, because I really stumbled upon this early in my career, and I think you did as well. Again, shout out to Brian for helping me, because he's been with me since I got licensed. But I was known as the video guy at my previous brokerage and everything. And with the face, that really contributed to people seeing my face on social media, not just long posts and verbs or anything else, because those are also important. But video really helped people see me and made it a lot more personal of a connection.
Yeah, video is a huge thing if you didn't already know this, and it's only going to become larger. I don't remember the stat, but the percentage of how many people want to see more video, it was over like 30%. I think I think you shared the article to me actually of saying about the amount of consumers. This isn't just real estate. The amount of consumers that want to see more video for the products and services they consume, because people just love video. They don't want to read things anymore. Maybe they want to hear it through something like this, a podcast, or they want to see it. And having the video, it's just an easier way for them to absorb your brand and your content. So like you were hinting at just a minute ago, that you kind of stumbled into doing it. And I did the same thing. All I knew is that not many people were doing video, not many real estate agents, because I started doing video. I love to share when it comes up on my Facebook memories of my first video because it sucked so bad. It was such horrible. It looks like I shot it on a flip phone, which I had an iPhone at the time, so I don't know how that worked. But I started putting video out there, and now I have this whole archive of videos that have been getting hundreds to thousands of views. And it's funny because the whole brand thing, it became I don't know, like a funny little thing when people would see me and they would wave my hand. Like if you go look at my Facebook and look at my videos, at the beginning of every video, I would say, "Hey everybody," and and "Hey everybody, this is Cameron with blah blah blah." And I waved at the beginning of everyone and at the end of everyone. And so many people, when they would see me, and they would just like joke about it. "Yeah, I see your videos," and they would like wave their hand. And there's people that never interacted with any of my stuff that they saw it. So to me, I'm like, that's still a win. I would love for them to, give me a thumbs up or a comment or a share. But regardless, that's a branding that's working. I was known as the guy that's waving his hand, and it was funny, but it was memorable, and they remembered who I am. So I try to resist the urge to do that as much now, but it's still important to do branding, and video is huge on every social media platform. I mean, look at TikTok. All it is videos. No one cares really about what your caption is for it. It's just the video catches their attention. That's all it is. And it's switched from that. Look how much like Twitter, I mean, I know it's still popular, but it's not like, look at what's come and overtaken it. It's got Instagram, which was just images and now has videos and reels. And then TikTok, which is just nothing but videos. Just people went from wanting to see images to now wanting to see video. And it's free too and easy these days. If you're not using video, I don't care if you're only getting 100 views per video. You can do it for free. You may not be like Adam and I that actually takes it to that next level to have a professional help us out. And at first, you don't really need to. You've got something in your hand that is better than any camera, people had 10 years ago. And it's right at your fingertips. Just flip that thing in selfie mode. And who cares? You're going to look dumb at first. You're going to feel silly at first. But you've got to work those kinks out. And I could just continue ranting on about this because it drives me crazy when I see people that don't even try to make a video, or if you don't want to get on video, like you should. And I'm going to continue to stress that you should, but start doing something to put your brand out there on social media because it's free.
Well, and one thing I've actually started suggesting for people who aren't comfortable on video is potentially if they're doing an open house or something, kind of something similar to what you did on your TikTok of the properties down in, was it Crittenden or Walton, Verona, where it was just a home walkthrough, but you're not actually on the video.
Yeah.
But it's you, and I'm suggesting to everyone, just go through. I mean, heck, COVID, that's what I was doing with half my clients anyway, who either tested positive for COVID and couldn't come to the showing or didn't feel comfortable going to the showing.
Yeah.
I was taking videos or FaceTiming anyway. It's all you're doing is walking around. The camera's not on you and you're talking.
Yeah.
Embarrassingly enough, I do want to go ahead and admit to you, I have an iPhone 12 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how it has the 3 cameras on the back?
Yeah.
So just like a month ago, I realized I can zoom out
and do the wide
and
angles.
use the wide
Yeah.
angle.
Oh my
I didn't know how to access that. I don't know why I didn't even think of it. I've had this phone
Game
for
changer.
2 years.
Yeah.
And I just learned how to do wide angle. And it doesn't look like a fisheye. So fun fact for people who have an iPhone 12 and haven't messed, just zoom out instead of zoom in and you'll get a 0.5.
Lens. It's awesome. You get so much more of the image of the room or whatever in there. But yeah, that's a perfect example. Like this is something you can do today. If you don't feel comfortable getting on camera, you don't even have to have a listing. Just ask an agent in your office that has a listing. Hey, can I just do a marketing video promoting your property? Sure. I guarantee within the first 1 or 2 that you call, they're going to say yes.
Yeah.
And then go to that property, try to find a vacant one, and then do this tour, and don't even put yourself in it at first if you don't feel comfortable. And then maybe you can gradually get into, maybe just put yourself at the beginning or at the end or something. And then before you know it, you'll do like Adam and I like to do, which is actually be in the video because for one, it's branding you and promoting you. And 2, it can make it more interesting rather than just seeing the home tour. Like I know one of our real estate agents that we both spoke about is Ryan Serhant with, was it $1 Million Listing? Is that what he was on?
Well, the show.
Yeah, $1 Million Listing. But go to his YouTube channel and check out his freaking videos. They are amazing. And one of the things that makes them so good is, they're beautiful properties, but he is in the video. And what's he doing also? Branding himself, showing off the property and showing off him and his brand. And it's and a whole other thing with like the branding, besides the importance of branding, is it creates that relationship that people feel like. Everyone that's listening to this right now, I guarantee can relate to this. You have someone that you've never met that is probably a super famous celebrity, and you feel like you know them. And it's because you see so much of their content online. People will have that same relationship with you on a local level. Even if you're like, yeah, but I don't have 5,000 Facebook friends. Do you have 500? Do you have 1,000? Whatever it is, those people, you can create that same celebrity, if you will, where they're going to feel like they know you. My favorite example is when I was about 2 years in the business and I'd already been doing video for about a year. I had someone reach out to me that I had gone to high school with, have not spoken to them since high school. And the way they were talking to me, interacting with me, it's like we've been friends ever since. And then we met in person and he was just comfortable with me and everything. And he had mentioned, yeah, I watch your videos all the time. Now, maybe he would have been that way regardless, but I think it's because he was watching my videos for like a year leading up to this and he felt like he already knew me again. And now I have that happen all the time. People say, yeah, I see your videos all the time. I see your stuff all the time. And they feel like they already know me. I mean, I have people that, because we've been getting really big, and well, I've been doing this, really big into story posts and getting engagement through stories. And we have people all the time that will respond in DMs to our stories. And like, I don't know if I've ever even spoken to this person, at least not in forever. And they just respond as if we're just buddies because that's the character of Cameron that I'm putting out there in the world. I want people to feel comfortable talking to me, reaching out to me. That's my online avatar, is the real estate agent that you can reach out to, you can talk to, and it's working. People reach out. And I used to have to, I used to keep track of making all my contacts each day. And I would have to constantly reach out to people and try to make those contacts. Now, majority of my contacts are people reaching out to me through my DMs, and I just have conversations that way. And that's just as viable as text these days.
Truly, though. And that's one thing I've been seeing as well. And especially, like, again, you're a year further in the business with me, but it's been very similar. I like to call it like the credit history report, right, of videos, because people can scroll all the way back and see I've been doing it for a long time. Even if I did have a month or two where the videos just delayed, they're seeing, all the way back in 2016, Adam was posting videos. And with that, I've had buddies walk up to me at the bar who I haven't talked to since college or whatnot and say, hey, man, I saw your video the other day, and talk to me about it. Now, I do like to call, kind of like what you mentioned earlier, of they're not liking it, they're not sharing it, they're not commenting, so you don't realize that they're viewing it.
They're watching
but they
it.
Are one of those number of views. I call them lurkers. They see it all the time. And I think that's one big thing to understand is just because you're not getting the amount of likes that you want or shares or comments does not mean it's not working. Now, it might take longer because those people viewing are lurkers, and kind of like what you talked about with your one buddy, probably watching for a year before that result came out of the woodworks to feel that comfortability. And yet at the end of the day, it's still a long burn that helps result in people reaching out to you as the expert.
And I like that you said, what was it, the credit report that you have referring to your track record of video. And one thing that drives me crazy is agents will start making videos, and sometimes they go all in way too much. They start paying somebody to make professional quality videos, which, again, nothing against that. I do that, you do that. But they're like, all right, I got this $500 budget, and they blow it all right away. And then they're like, well, I don't know what to do now. And they just stop. Well, maybe you get a professional to help you, but also you need to do something that you're going to be able to consistently do. If you're not at the level to where you can constantly pay someone to make professional videos for you, then maybe try to work something out with them. Maybe they just edit them for you and give them back to you, something like that. Or maybe you just got to do it yourself. But the key is consistency. It started to, I want to say, annoy me a little bit when people were like, well, I tried making videos, it doesn't work. How many videos did you make? Well, I made them for like a month or two. Really? Because I've been making videos for 60 years now. I don't want to hear your whining that I've been making videos for one of Stephanie and I's mentors, not in real estate, just does a lot of social media content. And his thing that he always says is when people come to him and are like, well, I've been trying to make a podcast, but I don't get many listeners. He's like, I made 500 podcast episodes before anyone gave a crap about me. And now he gets tens of thousands every episode. And people don't want to put in they want instant results, which that's a whole other conversation, but you just got to consistently do it. It doesn't matter how bad it is. My first video, I'm standing there holding a whiteboard in my hands with my horrible, like, third grade handwriting. And it took me like 30 takes to get it. And then after that, I think the next video actually got less views. I started out because everyone sees you do a video. That's another thing. Don't get discouraged about. You're going to do your first video. People are going to see it, and it's going to be your aunts and your cousins and your friends that are going to see it, and they're going to like, oh, wow, cool. Little Cameron made a video. And then your next one, they're not going to care about that much. Then your next one, they might care about even less. So you're going to have this like down slope of views, and then eventually it'll come back up and kind of level off a little bit, and then it'll spike up. But the consistency, you got to be consistent at it and stop thinking that. I mean, look at any of your people that you like on Instagram, Facebook. How long did it take them? They may seem like the overnight success. And like when Stephanie and I on Facebook right now, that's a big one for us on our business page, which is almost at 8,300 followers on our business page. And that's something we're pretty proud of, but it didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It took years to do. And I don't know how many videos. And then we get like, we probably get on average, I don't know, 2,500, 3,000 views per video on that now. And some people are like, well, I'm only getting like 300 views. Like, it's like your third video. Like, this is like my 1,000th video. Like, just keep at it and be consistent with it. Because like you said, the lurkers are watching. And eventually, as long as you're getting better and doing a better job, you'll start to get more views and more interaction.
I have people all the time who are like, oh, I only got 300 views. Well, I have a TikTok that had 100 views and I got Instagram DM'd from it, right? So it doesn't matter how many views you're getting as long as you're getting results and
it takes one person
feedback,
to reach out
right?
to you.
Exactly. So, okay, let's go ahead and diverge a little bit away from video and talk about branding for an agent, right? Because there are some things that you and I have some pretty big pet peeves about and want to make sure that people understand. Now, again, as you said originally, make sure that you are following your state's laws and regulations of what your stuff is, but definitely utilize it. And for us, I mean, just like your branding for your business page, have your information. There are so many agents we see that just use like the generic copy and paste of this is what my brokerage gave me, which is great. Doesn't even have your phone number on it.
Yeah. So I have a very sort of aggressive opinion about this. And I made a Facebook rant one time. I think you messaged me about it. You go, and I was telling people, and I was getting worked up about it. It's because it frustrates me that it's so easy to do and people won't do it. So just getting to it is when you're setting up like your Facebook, Instagram, whatever you're using, you need to be branding yourself. And again, if your company logo has to be on there and I say your company, I mean your real estate brokerage, not your personal company. You got to put that on there for compliance. But mostly no one gives a crap what company you are at. Now, you should care because you want to make sure you're getting the support. But if the general public is only using you because you're at a company, and there's a difference if it's like a popular company locally, maybe that'll help a little bit, but that's not a sustainable long-term plan. You want people to recognize your brand. So when you have like on your Facebook page, and I don't mean business page, I just mean your profile or Instagram or whatever it may be, is your phone number on there? Are people going to be able to reach out to you? Or is it a link to your company's business page? Which, cool, they can see you're a real estate agent, but what if they want to get a hold of you? Well, they'll just message me. The harder you make it for them to reach out to you, the less likely they are to reach out to you.
Truly. And that's the big thing. The more clicks you require of someone, the less they're going. The further down they go, like you'll have a legitimate buyer by the time if it's going to take 10 clicks and they did it. But at the end of the day, not many people are going to go that far.
Exactly. It needs to be super easy for them to know who you are and stop just like, I love the company I'm at. I've actually never had a company that I hated being at. I just moved for reasons that I thought were best business moves for me. But regardless of if I love the company I've previously been at, I'm currently at, I'm pushing myself. Stop pushing just your real estate brokerage. I don't care if you were at the biggest name local company for you. I don't care if you're at whatever one of the big names companies that you're at. Push yourself more than you're pushing your company, because ultimately at the end of the day, like when Stephanie and I last switched companies to the company that we're at now, and we of course let our clients know, hey, is just in case you notice this, and they're like, oh, I thought you guys were your own company. Most people don't. It's because we've branded ourselves so well, they don't even care what company we're at. And we were previously at one of the top companies in the nation, and they didn't even care. We thought you guys were your own company.
Yeah, all while still following the guidelines that are required. Because realistically, I mean, like we were talking about previously, of like do your open houses that aren't even yours. you need to put listing courtesy of whoever
Yeah.
the listing agent is, right? And yet 9 times out of 10, you're putting it there. You're doing your due diligence.
Yeah.
People aren't paying attention to that. They're looking at the really pretty pictures of the house.
Right.
So you're right. At the end of the day, there have been really big agents and really small agents that have made moves to different brokerages, and their clientele follow them. They're
don't care.
not
Yeah.
hearing back, oh, you went to this company. I'm not, never mind. I'm just going to find someone else. Now,
Exactly.
depending on how you run your business and your reach out and how you're involving yourself with your sphere of influence, that might be a little bit of correlation. And yet at the end of the day, it's not about the brokerage's logo. It's about what you're offering your client.
When you nothing, it makes me like so frustrated because you could be doing so much better for yourself if we saw because Adam and I send each other a lot of messages ranting about things or just giving each other tips. And, we like to bounce ideas off each other and stuff. And there was this agent that was promoting his company, and I won't say a company name or their agent name, but Adam knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I go to this agent's page and they're like, go like my company's page, blah, blah, blah. And then I go to their profile. I can't see if they have a business page, which come to find out they did. Just no way to find it really, unless I'm going to search for it, which no one's doing that, by the way. And then also I couldn't see their phone number. Yeah. I couldn't see their name, like on their profile. All I could see, I knew they were a real estate agent and I damn sure knew what company they were at. Yeah. I didn't know anything about them.
Yeah.
And are you an employee of that company? Because they better be paying you some money to put all this branding for them because you're not doing any for yourself.
Well, and that's truly where it can kind of get confusing for some people of not really understanding how real estate works, not understanding that we're all independent contractors, everything else. So is it you were hired as an admin for these people? Are you the marketing director? What exactly is it that you are doing with this company? Yeah. And look, at the end of the day, we've talked before, have pride in your company. Yeah. Be excited about what brokerage you're at, and definitely feel free to shout your brokerage's name from the rooftops.
And that's again because some people are gonna be like, "Well, Cameron, I've seen your stuff. You talk about your company." Well, there are certain companies. Adam and I are both at companies where the company will incentivize you for expanding the brand of the company. That's totally different. But how small of a portion of our marketing and branding is it? Hey, look at the company I'm at, or is it? Hey, look at me. And if I would venture to say it's maybe a 10-to-1, if not 20-to-1 ratio, because at the end of the day, whether it's Stephanie and I selling real estate or mentoring agents, people want to be around us because this is the brand we're building for ourselves. If you are building such a great brand for your company that people are like, yeah, I want to work with you because you're at this company, or I want to come to the company. I'm an agent and I want to come to your company because of the company. What happens when you leave that company? Statistically, you're not going to stay at the same company for your entire real estate career because you're going to do this until you're 100 years old and you physically can't. So build your own brand that you can take with you no matter what you're doing.
Final note on that realistically is because we could talk about this for hours on hours. And if anybody has more questions, feel free to comment below or anything like that. But when it comes to branding, when it comes to everything else, stay efficient, stay consistent, but make sure people know how to reach you.
Yeah.
With that being said, not everyone is going to like your brand, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone is. It's unfortunate that
don't try to please everyone because you won't, and you just drive yourself crazy trying to do it.
And I think that is one big thing that I talk to agents about, of define what you want as an audience. And it's okay that you're only getting 500 views or 30 likes versus 1,000 views and 80 likes, because you're defining more for your audience that you're clicking with.
That's a great
instead
point.
Of reaching out to the mass. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of times you'll reach the masses with a very non-effective message just because you want to. Do you want to be? Somebody said this one time. It was like, do you want to be popular or do you want to be successful? Now you can post a bunch of stuff and become popular because a bunch of people are like, oh, that's cool. But are they ever going to do business with you? Is that what you want to do? You just want to get a virtual pat on the back? Cool. Or you can target it on your market and maybe you only have 2,000 Facebook friends and you only get 30 reactions on most posts, but you have a strong base, a strong audience. That's what you should start with before trying to just post a bunch of viral stuff but really no one's going to relate to you.
Viral or generic stuff that
no one's going to relate to.
And you're going to have 15,000 likes on your Facebook page and 4 likes on your post.
Yeah. And I know it's easier said than done because I was not good about it in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't fully me. I wore a suit and tie 7 days a week pretty much.
Yep.
And I did like to dress up, but I was trying to come off as this professional person. And not that I'm not professional, but I'm sitting in a t-shirt right now. And that's what, and then the more I became authentically me, it hasn't affected my business at all. Mm-hmm. It's made me less stressed. I work with more of the clientele that relates to me and wants to work with me. So really just be yourself, maybe a polished version of yourself, but but be yourself. I mean, me and Adam, Adam a little more so than we got tattoos showing on our forearms.
Yep.
And at first I would try to hide that a little bit because I was like, well, I don't want someone to judge me on it. Now I'm like, if that's what they're judging me on, I don't want to work with them anyway. My personality, my knowledge, my skill set, authentically being me, that's how I'm branding myself and being myself at all times to reach the audience I want to reach. Yeah.
And I think that's a really great point at the end of the day of it. If they don't like it, that's unfortunate. And I don't have to deal with them because they're going to be a headache anyway to work with.
Most likely. Yep.
So Cameron, thank you so much. Again, we could probably do a part 2 of this and everything. Yeah. And if people want to see that, feel free to comment below. But Cameron, if people are searching for you, for your real estate team, where can they go ahead and find you?
You can pretty much find me on any social media platform by typing in my name, Cameron Berens, last name's Berens. And then our team is BB Home Advisors on Facebook. But yeah, type my name in Google. I guarantee you're going to see 100 results because there's no other Cameron Berens in the world besides my dad, who's not on social media.
Fair. Perfect. Well, that's convenient for you, isn't it? Well, sir, thank you so much for joining us. And we've got a couple more episodes with Cameron, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys next time.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Real Pulse of Real Estate. If you're looking for more content, follow me on Instagram or TikTok at I'm Cron Burgundy or Facebook at Adam Cron Realtor. Can't wait for you to join us next week.